Upper West Side restaurant is back open for business today after a bizarre kitchen attack that left a man dead. Police say employees at Sarah Beth's on Amsterdam Avenue and 80th opened a walk-in freezer Sunday morning and found a man with a kitchen knife inside. The man allegedly said, "Away, Satan," and tried to attack them with the knife. Workers disarmed the 54-year-old man and wrestled him to the ground. The attacker was then taken to St. Luke's Roosevelt Hospital, where he died.
Yep.
Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again, hit you with a video. Now this video right here comes out of New York City. Big shout out to everybody in New York, everybody in the Manhattan area. Now, this story comes out of Manhattan, but then they also says that the guy is from Arizona. Now, why would this guy from Arizona wind up in New York and also wind up doing time in Boston? He had just got released from jail in Boston over some mess that he got involved in. Then all of a sudden he winds up in Sarah Beth's eatery, a popular eatery place in Manhattan, only to jump out of a freezer. And you might say, well, how did he stay in the freezer without freezing to death? How did he stay in the freezer without succumbing to the coldness? I don't know that. Maybe it was one of them freezers like the Chicago freezer with Kanika Jenkins. Maybe one of them freezers they had turned off. I don't know. But anyway, this story kind of intertwines in a certain way with the story that I did from Florida. You know, just the video I just did. Well, we had the woman down there, a 26-year-old mom, Miss Shakayla Denson, who threw her child, Jahara, in a river. And basically, the same instance from what I feel and see what was going on with her was the same thing going on with this man, because they say that the woman in Florida was acting very suspicious and oddly talking to herself and basically walking with a Bible, which is a sign, and then also walking with a bra on down the street toward the damn river. You feel me? And then nobody think to call police or anything, but this guy jumps out the freezer yelling, "Get away from me, Satan." You see how it kind of like interacting? So what is really going on? Are these people really crazy? Or are these people being attacked mentally? Or are they being demonically attacked by the outside source? Because it's got to be more than just looking at somebody saying, "Oh, they crazy," and dismiss them. You can't really just say that, because to say that is to say, well, they did it for just unknown reason. But it's always a reason for everything. But do you notice how the story is kind of similar with the woman walking with the Bible with a bra on, speaking oddly, this guy jumping out of the freezer saying, "Get away from me, Satan"? It's the same thing. It sounds like demonic possession. These people are being attacked. I'm going to read a snippet from this story and I'm going to give my opinion. Surely as we go. Sarah Bell's freezer attacker was awaiting a 1988 double murder trial. And this guy was already a suspect in killing two people from 1988. So why was he still on the streets or whatnot? And that's very rare that you will hear somebody being on the streets from a 1988 murder trial. I don't understand that. I don't understand it. Why wasn't he locked up? I mean, who dropped the ball on that? Was it the DA, the prosecution? What the hell is really going on with this situation? Now, his name is Carlton Henderson, a Cave Creek, Arizona man identified as Sarah Beth's restaurant freezer knife attacker, was awaiting double murder trial out on bail. But the murder happened so many years ago. So what took so long to bring this man to justice? What took so long for the damn trial to start? Because I never in the history of trialdom heard a damn case taking this damn long to be brought before the court. Authorities have identified 54-year-old Arizona man Carlton Henderson as the individual who over the weekend jumped out of a Manhattan restaurant freezer and attacked employees with a knife before having a cardiac arrest and later dying. Notice, he had a cardiac arrest and died. So we don't know what the hell possessed him to do that. We don't know why he did it. But isn't it strange that he would last this long, carry out the attack, and then all of a sudden just drop dead? That sounds very suspicious and strange to me. But at the same time, what kept him alive then? Then after he carried out the attack, I guess that was his job was done. I don't know. I'm just trying to make it make sense to me. But it's hard to make sense out of crazy shit, if you know what I mean. Now, the seemingly indiscriminate attack at the UWS's Sarah Bell's restaurant came while Henderson had been awaiting trial for a double murder. Now imagine if you one of the restaurant employees back there cooking, and you back there serving up scallops, you back there cooking little filet mignon, chicken cordon bleu, and all of a sudden somebody jump out the damn freezer, yell, "Get away from me, Satan." Man, I would shit on myself, then I would take off running. But first I had to lay that log, and then I do that right there. But at the same time, how in the hell did he get in there? Who in the hell left the gate open? That's all I want to know. Who in the hell left that gate open? Despite Henderson thrashing with a knife, no injuries was reported. Now, Massline reported the man being charged with 2 counts of murder and released from jail on bail just 4 days prior to Sunday morning's incident. Wow. According to court records, Henderson had been charged in connection with the 1988 homicides of William Medina, 26, and Antonio Dos Reyes, 22, in Boston. The case went cold for years until a relative... Oh, that's why it took so long. That's why it took so long. The case went cold for years until a relative of Medina rallied for it to be reopened, leading to Henderson's arrest in April 2017 in extradition to Boston. So that's how his ass got to Boston. I was wondering how in the hell did he get from Arizona all the way over here to the other damn coast, on the other side of the damn map without a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, damn, was he that much of a Rolling Stone? You remember that song, Papa Was a Rolling Stone? Wherever he laid his hat was his home. So I'm like, well, damn, maybe he was pimping all over the country. Maybe he had holes in different area codes. But come to find out, no, he had allegedly, bodies in different area codes. Even though he's gone and he's dead, it's still alleged because it has yet to be proven. Now, although he was initially held without bail, he was later released on his own recognizance. So they OR'd him. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it ain't that serious. You can go. Very suspect. On August the 1st, 4 days before the freezer incident, according to NBC. So hold on, let's backtrack a little bit. Although he was initially held without bail, which means it wouldn't matter if it was 10 million, no bail. He was later released on his own recognizance. So why would you release a person that is wanted for a double murder? And there's no statute of limitation on murder also. So why would you release this guy? Only 4 days later, that's when the incident was carried out in Manhattan and Sarah Bells with the stabbing. That's very ironic in that time span. So what happened? What took place between then and then? Because notice, they didn't say he was acting crazy then. They did not say that he was acting oddly then. They did not say that he was walking around yelling, "Get away from me," Satan then. So what took place in those 4 days? That's all I want to know. Now, the Cave Creek, Arizona man was due to return to court on August the 14th, and he's not going to be able to make that trip, as we already know. The two were shot while sitting in a parked car on May the 7th, 1988, and police believe their slaying was connected to a drug trafficking ring in San Diego, court papers said. Henderson was indicted because it was based on statements he made to Boston police during a 1993 interview, according to court records. But Massachusetts Judge Janet Sanders ruled on July the 31st that the statements could be used against him as they were made under an immunity deal. She later released him on August the 1st on his own recognizance. So what he offered, testimony or something? Because if it was offered on an immunity deal, he made a deal with these people, like a plea basically. Like, I'm going to tell you this information, you drop all these charges. I did not do this, but I know somebody who did do this, or I did do this, but I'm going to give you a bigger fish than me. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a lot of fishes. That's what they do. You better ask these people. Now, so maybe that's what he done, and they're like, well, okay, well, I will give you this information only if you offer me immunity, which means you cannot prosecute me for anything that I'm going to tell you or that had already been done, because this is why I'm giving you this information. It's kind of like a deal. I give you $1 and you give me a damn Coke, something like that. 3 days later on Sunday, Henderson wreaked havoc when he snuck into Upper West Side Eatery, Sarah's Beth restaurant, where he jumped out of the walk-in freezer. I would be scared as hell. But don't that scare you when somebody jump out and they jumping out with a damn knife? Grabbed a knife, then tried to attack employees, screaming, "Away, Satan, away." That is somebody that's hearing voices inside his head. That's period, point blank. Staff were able to pin Henderson to the floor and remove the knife. But soon after he lost consciousness, then suffered a heart attack in the scuffle, according to New York Times. Despite being rushed to St. Luke's Hospital, the seemingly deranged man died. Very strange that he died. Did they not beat the shit out of him? Because you cannot tell him that nobody not put them paws on him. You know what I'm saying? You cannot tell him that nobody think to kick him or punch him one time. Somebody just jumped out the damn freezer with a knife, you're gonna just sit there and say, "Oh, hold him down." No, you're gonna be doing all kinds of shit trying to get away or trying to attack him. Now, the man made statements consistent with him being mentally unstable, cops said to the West Wide Rag. It's still unclear how the man ended up in the freezer, or why, for that matter, he had chosen Sarah's Bells, a popular UWS eatery, to launch his attack. Also not clear is whether the man had entered the restaurant overnight or earlier that day, and how he avoided being noticed by kitchen or waitstaff. Now pause. If he entered the restaurant at night, what time does the restaurant close? And also, does the restaurant have cameras? And also, is there street surveillance cameras that's on the corner? Which I know New York got damn more cameras than any city in America. You feel me? So there's cameras everywhere. And also, if he was to try to go in there, if the place is closed, wouldn't the alarm go off? And also, when you go take out food, for anybody ever worked in the restaurant business or the food business, you know you go to the freezer. One of the first things you're going to do is go what? Prep your food. You go into the freezer first. You're not going to leave the freezer out. You feel? I mean, you're not going to leave the food out to spoil or whatnot. Rats get in, be looking like dominoes and stuff up there in Detroit. But at the same time, when you go to the freezer, so how in the hell did not nobody notice this man? How in the hell was this not seen earlier? That's all I want to know. According to the New York Post, Henderson was staying at a hotel just 3 blocks away from the restaurant. It wasn't immediately clear what the Arizona domicile man was doing in New York City, especially after being just released from Boston. He is from Arizona. Police don't know when he went into the freezer, why he is in New York City, if he's a tourist or not, told a source via the West Side Ring. Following the attack, the restaurant closed, but they were still accepting delivery orders. Like, look, we're going to close the inside, but we got to push this out here. We're going to keep it pushing around here. Of particular disconcert is why, despite the suspicion of Henderson being involved with double murder, same thing I said at the beginning of the video, of the suspicion of Henderson being involved with the double murder, he was able to attain bail. This despite being on a run for 30 years. Explain that right there. So evidently something happened to this man. Somebody done something to this man to trigger this attack, or maybe this is just all in the making, all in the plan to leave him out there for him to carry this out. And then ultimately he winds up dead, and there's no proof of why he done what he done, or if somebody put it up to him, or if it's some other sinister or insidious thing going on behind the scenes, which I can tell that it is. But let me know what you all think about this mess. And like I tell you all, when you look at certain people, it does not necessarily mean that they're crazy. You feel me? Some people are crazy. Some people are mentally nutcases. Some people are just loose in the head. But some people are actually fighting possession. Some people are actually fighting things that they're hearing. And you can look all across this. I don't want to say too much, but at the same time, I want you to do your own research. It's very deep. Trust me. Anyway, let me know what you all think about this situation. And also, what do you think pushed this man to do that? And why was he able to attain bail after 30 years? And I understand, as I said earlier about the immunity deal that he struck with the judge, but what information was so vital that the judge would offer this man immunity, especially after 2 people done got killed? Was it because the San Diego alleged drug ring, or was it something else? Let me know. Anyway, if you like the video, push that like button. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely share the video. And at the same time, talk to your family. And if you talk to somebody long enough, you can see exactly where they're coming from. You can see if they're crazy or if they're just full of shit. Anyway, y'all stay blessed, stay woke, and watch your back and watch your front, because I'm telling you, these are crazy times we live in. Anyway, y'all have a blessed day. I'm out.